You can find a spot, pin, and then move that knee to help pin and stretch that muscle. All right, hello everyone, welcome in. Today you're here with Will Myers, certified personal trainer and licensed massage therapist. Today we're going to talk about the 4 major muscles of the thigh that actually, when released and worked properly, may help with releasing knee pain. So let's take a quick look at the anatomy and what these muscles look like up close. So with our up close view of these muscles, this is the rectus femoris to start. So this is that muscle that's on the very top. Now the thing with this is this muscle also covers the vastus intermedius. So we're not going to necessarily be able to see that. It does run along the top of the femur, however. But this being your vastus intermedius, this is your rectus femoris. Notice that tendon crosses down over top of the knee. Okay? Out here on the outside, this is that vastus lateralis muscle. That tendon crosses down over top of that knee. And then on the medial portion, this is that vastus medialis over here on the side. Now, there is a muscle called the sartorius that comes up along there, but we're just going to imagine that's not there for this as I show you where all these muscles end up. Okay, so again, your vastus medialis, lateralis, the rectus femoris on top, and then that vastus intermedius underneath of that rectus femoris. And here's our quick up-close look of where those actual attachment points are. So here's that rectus femoris. Notice how it's attaching from the hip and then all the way down into that knee. That vastus lateralis, you notice it on the lateral side of the hip there. Again, attaching. There's that greater trochanter of the femur, and it's coming all the way down past that knee. It has to come past the knee in order to help extend the knee. Your vastus intermedius attachment points, and the medialis. Again, notice that intermedius, very deep muscle, hard to get to, but you can understand that they have aid and strong purpose when it comes to extending that knee. Today we're going to use a couple pieces of equipment. The primary user and mover is going to be this massage roller. If you don't have a massage roller, they're easy to get, but you could also use a dough roller for the time being. We're going to go over really quickly how to use this resistance band and how it's going to help you assist in flexibility and stretching that knee, especially if you can't reach the ankle. We're going to use this foam roller as well, and I'm going to show you how to pin and stretch that quadricep muscle while you're down in a prone position, but using this specific roller here. And last but not least, once everything is released and stretched, I'm going to show you how to energize the muscle using a massage gun, but then also how to do it with your own hands using simple percussion techniques. Okay, we're going to start out with the massage roller. So you want to start out making sure that you understand where those muscles are on your specific leg as well, just as we were looking at anatomy chart. When I straighten out the leg, remember that gives me the chance to loosen up those muscles. I never want to massage or roll or do any type of percussion on the muscle when it's bent or when it's stretched, because that knee is bent and stretching that muscle over top. You might actually cause a reaction that you're not looking for. So we straighten out that leg, relax the quads. You're going to go ahead and take that roller. I always like to start on the medialis just because it's right there. So I'm pinning right at the beginning of that muscle, and I'm going to pull backwards. Now notice I pulled backwards with my whole body. I'm not just trying to use my arms, because you can very easily develop more tension in your shoulders while you're trying to release the tension in your knees. So I'm going to pin that muscle, use my whole body to come back. Now, most of my direction is in the direction of the heart. I'm thinking about my circulation as well, because even though I'm moving everything up and down, I still am pushing the blood around. So I want to make sure that I'm pushing that in the direction of the heart. So here's that vastus medialis. I can turn the foot and knee, and it brings me into that rectus femoris and vastus intermedius. Remember where the two are. Okay? And last but not least, I then would turn, and I'm working on that vastus lateralis, that big muscle on the outside of the thigh, pulling that tension away from the knee. You'll see that I like to do small portions and then work the whole entire muscle, and just kind of make a variety. I don't necessarily stick to the same exact form. And when it comes to how long do you do it, it's more about how it feels. Sometimes after you hit a long leg day or a hike or moving some boxes around the house, these muscles can get quite tight. So you may need to do it for a couple more minutes some days. Some days you may be able to feel after a couple seconds you're ready to go. Okay, learn your body. To start with the foam roller, I'm just placing it directly underneath of my hip, and it's actually close up by my groin. I'm going to roll backwards and allow that pressure to make you familiar with the rectus femoris and that vastus intermedius. Now you can also pin that muscle and then flex the knee. That's going to help stretch those muscles in between the bone and the foam roller. So from here, if you need a little bit extra weight, you can bring the other leg up on top, but remember that's going to create extra pressure. Then again, you have your flex and extend. If you're looking to get to the outside of that, you just have to pivot your body slightly, turning over to the side, and now see I can roll up and down from knee all the way up into the hip just by simply using my other leg to help drive. Here's your pin and stretch. Okay. To here. Now that I've got that roller right on that medial side of the leg, you can choose whether you stay down by the knee or you roll in closer to the groin. However, either way, you can find a spot, pin, and then move that knee to help pin and stretch that muscle. This last one, we're going to use a resistance band, and it's okay to have a counter or something that you can support your body with right next door to you. Just to start and show this stretch, I'm just going to grab this back foot. Now we know that by grabbing this, I'm stretching that knee, so that means I'm stretching those quadricep muscles. What I like to do from this position is actually an activate and stretch movement. And so the first thing you're going to do is push your push your foot into your hand as if you were trying to kick away, right? So you're going to push, activate those quads, push into your hand, hold that nice and steady, and then release and stretch. Every time that you now stretch, you should be able to get a little further back. So again, I'm going to activate and push into my hand, and then release and stretch a little bit further back. Now with the resistance band, all we need to do is place that around the ankle, create that tight position, and if you need to, you can bring that resistance band over top of your shoulder, but we want to be able to make sure that ankle can move freely, and then as you then pull that knee up, you create that stretch. So you've learned how to stretch, roll, and massage the muscle. Now let's talk about energizing and exciting those same exact muscles. I'm going to start with my massage gun, putting it on a regular and a medium setting, and remembering to relax that leg. I don't want the leg to be tight. Okay, relaxing it, starting up in the top there, and remember you're not putting a lot of pressure in it. From here, you're just trying to move through those different muscle fibers, and again, remembering you're just trying to excite the muscle. You're not trying to dig into that tissue. I don't know how many times I have to say that. You're not trying to go after trigger points because you can very easily bruise yourself. So stay away from those trigger points and stay away from the bony landmarks, and you'll find yourself able to work through the entire quadricep muscle and just put a little bit of extra movement in there. Remember, if you're sitting all day, if you watch that video about what happens when you're seated, these muscles are getting stretched all day, so you need to excite them and use them and energize them to make sure that they continue to do their responsibilities when it comes to flexing and stabilizing the knee. Okay, at this point in the video, you now have a couple techniques that will really help you energize and release those muscles of the quadriceps. Now, many times they can become tight and lead to knee pain. So if you know anybody who's suffering from knee pain or is suffering from any type of quadricep weaknesses, this may be a video that can help them. Shoot it on over to them for me, hit a quick share, and see if you can help somebody out. Okay, thanks again, pay attention, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you soon.